Awesome.
We're in day 33 of the COVID pandemic. And I got to tell you, friends, that I came off the marketer's cruise in January and my CPA died that day. And one of our authors, Albert, you've got a book. Hold up your book here. You're touching lives and changing lives. The power, the art of perception. There's a lot of business owners that are really stuck and are really hurting in the middle of this pandemic. You were able to help us out because my 1099s had to go out that week. And you got our 1099s out. You help us launch the nonprofit. Now you helped us get our PPP money. So thank you. We have 45 ghostwriters. And I tell you, we had a lot of money in the bank. And I mean, we could really operate for a year. But I tell you, it's our contractors and the people that are working with us. We want to keep them busy. So what advice do you have? I know you're speaking everywhere. You're the tax man to go to in Florida, but you're helping businesses out all over the country and all over the world. Talk to us about what to do.
I think what you do to go start building your business is you just got to go out and give the content. You know, I've learned that a long time ago. That every day, and that's what the perception system's all about. Because way back when I started, doing accounting back in '85, I didn't have anybody. You know, I didn't have this whiz bang technology. So I learned out, and you know, once my Papa Joe Corey always taught me, you can start building a business one smile at a time. You know, if you don't have any money, you do low tech. Limited resources, you do flyers. In today's lockdown community, I don't know how many people see it, but a few minutes ago, I shot on Facebook. Shot on Facebook the rain in Miami right now. Why? Because I want to make people smile. As people smile, they start to see you. You know, you start giving away free content. Right, Michael? Anybody sees my stuff, I give away everything for free. And the biggest joke I will tell you is I did a video about 7 years ago on how to open up a corporation in Florida. Step by step, guys, how to do it other than putting my credit card in. And I made $5,000. And I still make a little bit of money on it every day. But you stuff, people are going to call you. You know, I have my critics tell me I'm in a couple of groups, the Grant Cardone group, and somebody came on and said, "Oh, you're not supposed to give away free content. You're gonna lose business." I go, "What are you, crazy?" I give away free content because I know 95% of the people that I'm gonna give the content to are gonna get stuck and they're gonna call you, and then you try to help them, and at the end, oh well, if you can't do it, call me. And guess what happens, Michael? They call me.
Just like I did when my CPA died. Now, I got to say, I was expecting you to do it, right? Because you published the book with us. You're a customer. We're customers of each other. But my goodness, my CPA died that week. You had my 1099s done that week. Now, listen, we got friends joining us from all over the world. So hang out with us, Albert. Stay with us here for a little bit. You got some time with us today?
I got all afternoon for you guys.
We've got authors that are joining us from all over the world, friends. And I want you to know that we have authors from Estonia, from Mexico, from Austria, Germany. How we doing, Simon? Where are you today, Simon?
Right now in Austria.
No, your normal home is Germany. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. But today I'm in Austria.
Well, I think you said you're in the Alps. It must be beautiful there.
It is, but now it's rainy and cold, so I'm inside.
You know what? We're glad you're here, and we're glad Ragna's here. I met you and Ragna. Albert, you would love Ragna and Simon. Simon has got a book coming, and just a phenomenal leader. Tell us a little bit about your book, Simon. I want to know about it, and when is it coming? And I'll see if I can grab a photo here, and we'll launch a photo of your book here. Go ahead and tell us about it.
Okay, thanks. Well, my first book is called Millionaire Human. It's the world's #1 wealth and business book with the Go Language of Life tools. So what's it all about? Go Language of Life is the continuation of my father's legacy, the language of life. With a language of life, I started back in 2018 in Geneva at the United Nations headquarters, when I decided to launch a European communication project, which is now globally operating to contribute to the enrichment of life with a language of life. Why? Because from my experience and from my father's experience, 99% of people are not aware of needs, and they're not aware of how to apply the communication skills that really contribute to a world where eventually everyone's needs are fulfilled. With a language of life, I coach people how to connect with what's really alive. And my father was coaching it like as a psychology-based approach, helping people with their struggles in life. And I had the idea to start language of life coaching in the world of business, because I am an entrepreneur myself, and I just realized how many entrepreneurs struggle with their communication skills. And with a language of life business partnering, I created the first business partnering ever done in the history of mankind, based on mutual giving from the heart. All the deals I do are based on mutual giving from the heart. That's a prerequisite for all the deals I do, whether it's real estate, healthcare, whatever it is, Bitcoin. It has to be based on a language of life deal. Language of life business agreements are short because in a language of life, people really go to the roots and to the needs of the business partners. And that's basically all.
I want to give some context to people that are jumping on, because we actually started a few minutes early. We got a lot of comments, and people are chiming in here on Instagram and on Periscope. And we've got so many comments in here from around the globe. And wow, just so, in Canada's watching right now. And friends, if you're watching this, what we decided to do today was showcase our authors. And so we're going to have dozens of authors joining us, and we're going to get to all of our authors that have something amazing to share. And Simon, we found your book thumbnail here, Millionaire Human. You're joining us from Austria today, but you travel all over the world. And I first met you through Ragna and through JT Fox. So have we picked a launch date for your book? Do we know when your book is launching?
Yes, that will be in mid of May. So we will start on Amazon and then go like to the book festivals in Frankfurt in October and all over the world to present Millionaire Human, World's #1 Wealth and Business Book with the Go Language of Life tools.
Sounds good. And you're going to be coming to Guadalajara with us. We're going to be speaking in Guadalajara, so we want you to come. We want you to come, and that's going to be really exciting. Now, before we go to Jen, Jen's launched a new book that's just phenomenal called Launch. How appropriate when you launch a book that's called Launch. Why didn't leave it to Jen to think of that? That's beautiful. But Ragna, you've been doing something ever since the pandemic, Ragna. You're originally from Estonia, and you live in Mexico now, but you've been hosting a daily summit that is streaming globally called Dominate the Decade, and you've had A-list celebrity speakers from all over the globe. Tell us, and I'm fortunate enough to be speaking on your stage. I know Simon has spoke for you. Jen and Albert should speak for you. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing in the midst of the pandemic to help your entrepreneurial women and men thrive.
Hi, I'm Ragna. So thank you for the introduction and the invitation. So everything started basically because I started to receive a lot of calls like, I need help in how to solve the problems with employees. How will we survive this? There was a lot of panic, a lot of misery and plain fear, because nobody understood what's going on and what's going to be the next step. So I decided that even though we live in a different parts of the world, we have the same type of circumstance that we need to face. So my idea was to ask from different coaches, how do they sort of dominate the decade under the current circumstances? and wanted to give the experience and ideas for other people, because I see there's a lot of, for example, employees which have now lost their jobs, especially here in Los Cabos, which basically 80% of the population here is working for the hotels, and they are basically unemployed. So they have no place
Exactly.
to do. And the main idea was to just look at the Netflix and thinking like, okay, I'm going to wait what the government will going to do for me, no? So the idea with all those coaches is to really give the different type of approach, teach them the attitude and beliefs that they can change their life today. And I think it has been very rewarding. The feedback has been absolutely fantastic. We have people literally from Peru, Argentina, Australia, up to UK, US, and not to mention Europe and Mexico. So just that was even not my idea, but it started to grow just like that. And suddenly we were like, I was asking for people like, where are you from? And I was like, wow, Pakistan, okay, India,
Now,
okay.
how long will you be hosting? Isn't that the beauty of online, the online world? Are you finding that your reach, because of the pandemic, you're getting customers and subscribers now from all over the world? How long will you be hosting the event? How long will you be continuing the event? Will it go on as long as we're locked in?
Well, the plan was to do it 1 week, and then I started to receive like people interested to be speaking and all of that. And today we are with a schedule in the third part of July. So until there's people that want to be on the stage and want their voice to be heard, and they do have a message to the community and they want to help the community, I will keep on going. So I will be the sort of the platform for giving the voice and helping to give the choice for those which are listening to those podcasts.
So, how do people find you and follow you? How do people find you and follow you? What's the best way for them to connect with you?
Well, via Facebook, whether Corante
Okay.
or whether Aragne Cynicas or World Women's Conference and Awards. So those are the three platforms that are the most, let's say, the active ones.
Hey, this is awesome. This is awesome. Thanks so much. I want you to stick around because we're going to be having you back in a little bit. I'm gonna reach out to Daniel Gomez. How you doing today, Daniel? How are we this Sunday? How are you doing?
Doing fantastic. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing today?
Hey, we're doing awesome, man. We're having people come in, and we heard from Albert. We've got Simon is in Austria today. Simon is launching his book, and we got so many exciting things today in the author spotlight. We're going to be featuring dozens of authors here, and they each have different things going on. Like I know you've got things coming up. I know you're going to be giving us some tips on how to expand your virtual stage and get paid to speak during the pandemic, which you've been doing. Jen Duplessis has got one of the top podcasts in America related to entrepreneurs and mortgage and podcasting. We're going to hear from her in a few minutes. Albert, I want to say a big thank you to you because you helped me as a business owner get the PPP funds because most of my people were contractors and not employees yet. Jen, I don't know if you and your husband knew this, but the day we got off the marketer's cruise, my CPA passed away that day. And he had 1099s. I'd sent him the 1099 information. It was not ready to go. And I handed it off to Albert, the authors here. And in one day, Albert and his team had the 1099s done. The next week, they had my nonprofit done. Yesterday, he got my PPP stuff done with all my 941s, so I got qualified for that. Albert, how do people find you and take advantage of what you can do for them?
The easiest way to get a hold of me is if you go to Albert C360. It has everything, my podcast. You can book an appointment with me. the YouTube videos. It has everything you could ever want to get a hold of me, all on the one platform.
Okay, awesome. We're so glad you're here. We're going to invite you to come back, Albert. Show us your book again, and then we're going to bring in some other guests. Thanks so much, my friend. I'm going to be in touch. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, Daniel, I want you to give us a little tip, Daniel, about what you're going to be sharing in a few minutes about getting more virtual stages, Daniel. So fire away on that for a couple minutes.
Yeah, well, right now is a great opportunity just to expand your horizons. I think right now many people don't know how to make that shift in their mindset of how to go from speaking on a live stage to actually speaking in a virtual summit. And I will tell you, you just got to open your mindset to really believe that. So that's the first thing, is you got to believe it. If you believe it in your mind, once I open up my mind to really know that, hey, I can do this. And the ironic thing happened, Michael, I did my first keynote last week. And when I did my first keynote, I was able to connect with more people, because you think about it, it was for a courtroom association, and inside the Zoom room, you actually have about 100 people, but you see everybody's names right there in front of you. So I was able to collect about 50 emails, and in return from collecting 50 emails, I was able to pick up actually a coaching client through that, and I'm following up with some other people. But I say that because, first of all, you got to be open-minded just to new things, because if you have that closed mindset, that fixed pie mindset, that's the first mistake anybody can make right now. So you really just got to open your heart, open your mind to just a new way of really speaking today.
You know that's so powerful, and I really love what you did in the comments here. This is really smart, guys. If you haven't used StreamYard, Daniel is one of our top paid speakers and best-selling authors. A little bit later, he's going to be sharing some sticker shock with us. The day you realize you're worth millions, kaboom! If you haven't been sticker shocked for a while, he's going to bring that. But I love what he and Jen did. Check this out, guys. You see in the comments there, Jen's got how to get a hold of Jen. She hasn't even spoken yet, and she's got her strategies there. That's beautiful in the comments. So, Ragnar, you might want to do that as well so people can find you and follow you. And speaking of Mexico, let's just check in with we've got someone else from Mexico here. Samantha, how are you doing today? The author of Unstuck Yourself.
I'm well. I think
so
that you
good
must
to see you. Thanks for joining us from Cabo.
You must think that I wear a swimsuit every day, Michael. But
well, hey, I sure would. If I lived in your neighborhood in Ragna, I would be down. In fact, we're gonna do a book launch party in Cabo. So
bring it. Bring it.
As soon as the pandemic's over, Simon, you heard me right here first. I know Jen and her husband would love to be there. We've spent some time on the beaches of the world with them. And we're just having a blast, guys. We've got a lot of people in the studio. Daniel, thanks for getting me hooked up on StreamYard. He's the official yard dog. And Simon, I want you to do this, Simon. Give us one more thing, Simon, before you go. And I'm going to pull up your branding here. Millionaire Human. What's the main thing you're looking for? And I want you to tell us your age. Now, JT Fox, the world's #1 wealth and business coach, calls you the next JT Fox. Why does he call you the next JT Fox? And how old are you? And what would you say to other young people your age?
Well, first of all, I'm 25. And the idea with JT Fox Jr. actually came up in Vienna when we first met. And he was just impressed by, first of all, my hair, and also by my young age.
Great hair.
And also he said, like, when he started coaching, he had the same, like, starting from nothing and having the vision to be world's #1 coach. In my case, it's the world's #1 coach with the language of life tools. And what I could say to young entrepreneurs, the best time to start is when you are clear about what you need in your life. I have a lot of friends in Vienna who want to do business, but they are like skeptical. Oh, it's not the right time. I'm not ready. I need to do that and that before, and I need to study and so on. In the end, these are all like excuses. And what I recommend young people is to connect with what they need, what their goals and visions are for their life. And once they are aware of what they need, then they can be creative. Then they can start their business. And this is probably not the time to pull back, but rather just the time to attack and go for your needs. And that's what
Beautiful,
I would say.
beautiful. Well, you know what? We're so glad you're here. We're going to be hearing a lot more from you. Your book is launching, and it's launching really soon. What's the one thing that you want people to take away from your book?
The language of life tools. So first of all, observer tank, second, the needs tank, and then the wish tank. That's what I want people to take away from the book. The language of life.
All right. You know what? We're going to do this again. We're going to have you back, and we're going to dive into a deeper interview with you, because very, very profound and good stuff. Thank you so much for joining us today. And just keep us posted on all your speaking and everything that you've got going on. We really, really appreciate you, Simon, from Austria. What time is it over there right now, by the way?
Oh, it's like 10 p.m.
Okay, it's past my bedtime, but I'm sure you'll be up for a while. Thanks so much, my friend, and thanks for joining us.
I love his accent too, though, Michael. He has that nice accent on there. I wish I had that over here in San Antonio.
He's got it, man. He's got it. He's got it. Well, listen, we're going to be hearing from so many amazing and fun people today, and I kind of wanted to represent our international partners here. So I'm not sure why I lost your image there, Rick Denley. So you try to come back in, Rick Denley. We'll get your image. Otherwise, we'll bring Scott Schilling in, who is a speaker and a coach here in Dallas, Texas. We'll come back to you, Rick. But for those of you who are Beyond Publishing authors that got the email and that have RSVP'd to be in the green room, just stay tuned. We're going to bring you into the green room. We're going to bring you into the green room really quick, because we want to hear what's going on. We want to hear what's going on in your life. You know, one thing about it, I was on a birthday party last night with Forbes Riley. There were about 100 people on the birthday overall, and really a lot of fun. I think Forbes is going to be joining us in a bit, but you know, Les Brown popped on, and Jack LaLanne's widow popped on. Mrs. LaLanne popped on, and it was so good to see LaLanne on, and she's 94 now. And the beauty of that is she's healthy, and she's writing a book, about her late husband, Jack LaLanne, who sold $1 billion of the Jack LaLanne juicers that I bought when I was a teenager. I actually bought 2 of those, and as a kid. So it was so nice to meet her, and it was so nice to see what's going on. Scott Schilling from Dallas, Texas. You've got a book launching. Drummer, how you doing, my friend? Good to have you on.
I'm awesome. It's right there. It's right on the back wall. Absolutely. Doing great.
What is the title of this book, and why'd you write it?
That Sucks. What Now? Real world solutions for getting through what you're going through.
Oh my gosh, that's really timely.
I love that.
It is really timely. It is really timely. I wrote it for a number of reasons. Number one, I went through a near-death experience and I lived. I'm an overachiever. So that was the good news.
Well, we're glad you're
part of it is sharing the information that people, when I came through what I came through, there was not a whole lot of positive information, and I didn't like what I was reading, and I figured somebody better document it differently than it was. And what we come to figure out in life is that we're going to go through a number of different things through our lives, throughout our careers. And as an example, my entire speaking career launched because of the SARS virus in 2003. And
man,
so
you love to make a comeback during these pandemics. What kind of we're going to have the shrink on later, and maybe she can diagnose why exactly you do that. But hey, we're glad you're alive. We're glad you're back. Who was it? Was it Abraham Lincoln said the best way to create your future is to invent it, right? And so that's what you've done.
Exactly.
You've rewritten your future. And I got to say, I've been a friend following you for a long time. You were the first person that I looked up when I moved to Dallas, Texas. You know, and I do this every time I travel to a new city to speak. I'm pulling up my friends from the Facebook. I make my home in Toronto or Tampa or wherever I am, and I make it a point to connect with the people I have the most in common with. What would you say has been the thing that kept you alive through all of these near-death experiences, You've been through financial crisis before. You've come back several times from health challenges, and used to speak with Peter Lowe on Peter Lowe's stage. You've spoke on Ziglar's stage and some major stages of the world. How did you come back, and what advice would you give the readers right now?
Well, the reality is, what's your choice? I mean, that's that's where the title comes from. That sucks. I wish it wouldn't have happened that way. What now? No time for a pity party. Get after it. Fix it. Right. So the reality is, what's your choice? You can shrink and go away, or you can come back and thrive through it all. And the reality is, people have plenty of faith at the beginning of things. They have plenty of faith once they've achieved things. Where they lose their faith is in the middle when they're doing things. And we're all in the middle of more situations than we're at the beginning or the end. And so how do you fight through it all? You fight through it all because your other choice is to not, and that's not a very good outcome. And the story actually details a number of not so pleasant issues in my life. Not that I want everybody to know about that, but it's really detailing what I learned coming through each and every one. The comment that I give about, I mean, literally after 8 days of doctors being in ICU and doctors saying, you shouldn't be alive, I finally got frustrated enough to say, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm an overachiever. I lived. And that became the attitude coming through, right?
That's awesome.
Everybody else, we all experience things the way we experience them. And the reality is that the whole theme of the book is all things work together for my good. Doesn't say all good things work together for my good. It's all things work together for my good. And that's really where everybody is in life today.
Beautiful. So I know you just approved the final edits. We're going to be announcing a launch here in the coming days and weeks. So you're a prolific writer. How many books have you written in your career, Scott?
15.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow.
This is the legacy book right here.
That is, well, thank you so much for thinking of us. Thanks so much for joining us here. We're going to hear more from you. And
thanks for inviting me on.
Hey, stay on with us. Hey, Rick Denley in Toronto, congratulations, going #1. Reinvent yourself. How are we doing in Toronto today?
Thanks, Michael. We're doing great. Hi, Daniel. Everybody else. So nice to be on this call. Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, what a fantastic journey, Michael. Thank you. We got that book to #1 out of the chute with Amazon, and away we go. So it's been an exciting ride, and looking forward to now moving forward with the book as well. The intent was to get it in people's hands to help them. When we talk about the book, I got her back here for everybody. I mean, reinvent yourself. Everybody said, wow, what great timing for a book like that. It's not like I planned it, but it is really good to get that in everybody's hands right now. So I'm really pleased to have it out there. And that's the purpose of it, to help people reinvent themselves, to get through whatever mission or movement they might be on.
It's powerful. I know you speak you just got off the stage in Houston a couple weeks ago. Yeah. What would you say? First of all, I want to ask you this. A lot of people are watching and commenting. Hey, friends, if you will hashtag Author Showcase, we've got 3 books we're going to give away. We're going to tap some of the authors here to give away free ebooks. And then we've also got some print books in the warehouse that we're going to be shipping out to you, like Samantha's book, Unstuck. We got the hardcover right here. So if you want to share what you're watching on the live stream, go ahead and share it, because there's a lot of people thinking about writing a book. And I just want to take you right now, as we've got authors literally from all over the globe. We had Dr. Catherine Van Heerden was trying to get on. She was trying to get on in Johannesburg, South Africa, but was unable to be due to a faulty Wi-Fi connection. So for those of my authors like Claude Collins and different ones that are jumping on, go ahead and jump on. Go ahead and get on, and we're going to hear from you, okay? But I want to share the screen for 1 second. Rick, my question is, have you signed up for the Global Elite Speakers Bureau yet?
Yeah, that's something I'm looking to do, because I want to be down with Daniel and his group there. It's going to be an awesome event from what I understand. helping people accelerate on stages. And I'm not going to talk about it because it's your due, Daniel, and it's going to be really special to have people and move us ahead in our careers as authors and now speakers also.
Well, we're going to come back to that because actually I was talking about the Global Elite Speakers Bureau here. I'm going to share the link.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's totally okay. We're a sponsor of Daniel's event, and it's all good. So the Global Elite Speakers Bureau, we're in an onboarding process right now. We have two PhD women that are on the board. We got Dr. Sonia Stribling here. Many of you know her. We've got Dr. Catherine Van Heerden, PhD from South Africa, that's on the board. Motivational leadership, faith-based health and wellness, celebrity, pro Olympic sports, politicians, human resources. We even got comedians, entertainers, and etc. So those would be like, ventriloquists, comedians, and impersonators. So that's going to be fun. Education, military, tech, innovation, diversity, inclusion, business, faith-based. So go ahead and submit your speaker profile here, and we're going to be onboarding. And then May 1, it's going to go live to the general public. But for right now, it's in a pre-launch phase. Can you guys see my screen okay?
No, Mike, can you share it?
No.
It's not coming through again.
Okay, Daniel. Yeah, okay. I'm going to share that again. I wish I would have known that. Let me hit that. And
there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
My answer is yes.
There it is.
Global Elite Speaker Bureau. You want to go ahead and if you're on this call, we're doing the onboarding process. If you've been a paid speaker in the last 12 months, go ahead and get featured on here in these categories: tech innovation, diversity and inclusion, human resources, motivation, leadership. Submit your speaker profile. And this is a great opportunity. We're actively marketing the site. We're going to spend a lot. We're spending a lot on SEO. It's WordPress. This is the first phase. There's going to be a number of phases on the rollout for the design. The other thing is when you go to the Beyond Publishing website, we are sponsoring a publishing deal. We've published 350 authors in the last 2 years, thanks to our generous referral partners. And I just want to say thank you to everyone. But if you go here and you click on the apply for scholarship, if you know someone that has written a nonfiction book and we want to publish their book, let me just take to that page. I forgot we had made that URL simpler. So they can go ahead and click on here and apply for the scholarship. Now, this scholarship is not going to last forever. And so we want you to go ahead and share that with your friends that are writing a book, okay? Hey, Samantha, I want you to tell us a little bit about Unstuck
Can we apply
Yourself.
for it?
Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you okay, but there was a question about how to apply for something.
Oh, just click on the link. I'll put it here in the notes, guys. Tell us about Unstuck Yourself and why did you write it? You've designed a life.
That's
the guide
it.
to designing the life you love.
The guide to designing a life you love. And it also seems to be appropriate because while people are reinventing themselves, they're also unstucking themselves. So, however you want to look at it, we all have an opportunity to take what brought us to this place we are right here today and stop living by default and live on purpose and design the kind of life that we'd love to have. So
Awesome.
it had been an idea for a long time, not being a victim to circumstances, that life works through you. It doesn't happen to you. And there you go. I just got inspired and started writing and got a lot of help.
Now, the audiobook come out this last week. I know by the way, we love the branding. Do you guys love the colors on that? Just beautiful branding. We love that color. Hey guys, you can go live right now. Daniel and I did a Instagram live. How many of you are going live on a daily or weekly basis?
Weekly.
Okay. Ragna, how many times are you going live a day, Ragna? I don't know. 5 times a day?
Twice.
I see her everywhere.
Yeah. She's a busy girl.
Now, one of the questions I'm going to ask you in a little bit,
I tell you what, she's fired me.
is monetizing and working from home, because you've been coaching people from your living room for how long now? You're a coach and you've done that. You worked for corporate. You had like the big job in the corporate Fortune 100.
Yeah.
But how long have you been doing your own gig?
I quit corporate in 2010. So I've been working from I made my kids share their room because I wanted an office, you know, from home. So yeah, so I've been home for 10 years now, working from home. And I started at about 35 hours a week, and my goal was to do it in 20 hours or less, and I've accomplished that. So yeah, just by design, decide for it.
What advice would you give an entrepreneur that's underprepared for this streaming pandemic? How do they transition? Maybe they're like, oh crap, I've got kids at home. You know, my wife has already got a business at home, or my husband. How do I go ahead and launch a business from home now that I'm forced to? I mean, I'm grilling a steak the other night, and the guy works at Verizon, and he's out there grilling the steak with his 3-year-old daughter. And he said he moved his office into the master closet because he's got a 3-year-old. What advice do you give entrepreneurs you coach?
Well, I'll tell you what, everything depends on how you want to look at it. You can look at it as an excuse or an opportunity. And I think it's amazing because as a coach, I've been trying to get virtual the whole time. And I'll work with people and they go, oh, I want to see you one-on-one. I want to see you face-to-face. I go, this is face-to-face. This is how you choose who you get to work for, not just who's in your community, who works with you. So there's an amazing thing happening right now where people that would never know technology, never get on a FaceTime, never get on a Zoom call, never do any of that, it's now becoming the norm. So their exposure to it is with kids clawing on them, or excuse me, someone's at the door, or it's awesome. It's broken down all the boundaries for perfection. Perfection is real life. And the truth of the matter is that I think we all agree. We want to talk with, listen to, and be influenced by people we what's the word I'm looking for? People that we relate to.
Yeah. No like and trust factor.
The timing could not be better. The timing could not be better for someone to do something virtual and do a business like this.
And your audiobook went live 48 hours ago. So big plug, go get unstuck.
I am so excited about that.
I got to tell you, Rick, I was telling Rick, I was bragging on you because I said, we've got an author in Mexico that created a studio in one of her bedrooms. So when you go and listen to her audio, it's so cool. How hard was that for you to record the audio in your bedroom?
It was actually in this office, and there was stuff everywhere. And then, it was unbelievable. And then we'd have to record over because neighbors' dogs, or a truck with a J.
One of those things where you zap the dog. Do you ever see those? I don't know if it hurts them, Scott. I would never hurt an animal, but it just keeps them from barking. Yeah,
they weren't mine this time. Usually they are mine. But no, it was not pretty. It wasn't glamorous. It was,
Here's what I want to do. I'm going to need to let Daniel talk in a minute because he's about to explode, and you can see I'm making him wait, right? But we have 3 Texans on the line, and we've got people. I know Samantha used to live in Texas. We've got a lot of people in the green room too that are going to join us in a moment. But I kind of want to give everybody, Beyond Publishing authors, I encourage you to share this on your pages. We're going to go live for another good bit because we've got some specific content we're going to deliver. Are you guys having a fun time? Are you getting some value?
Yeah, great stuff.
Awesome. Well, you got to realize that everything about what we do is purposeful. And, a lot of people thought the internet killed publishing, and it didn't. It did not kill publishing. Publishing is up. Book consumption is up. And now is the best time to write a book. And, Netflix is up. Actually, readership is up because of the pandemic, because people are reading stuff on their Kindle that they bought 3 years ago and never looked at, right? They're like, oh, that looks cool. I want to buy that. And so now's the time to do it. So we had some events that got canceled. We had the LA speaking event. Samantha, we were going to meet for the first time. You came in as a referral. We shipped your books to LA and the event. 14,000 tickets were sold. And guess what? That was the weekend that Rick and Daniel were going to be in Toronto with Grant Cardone. And our event for LA got moved because we had RSVP'd for the Toronto event, and the Toronto event got canceled. So we're learning how to be flexible. And ever since the pandemic, I think the LA event for the Best You that got rescheduled for August 7th and 8th, I don't see that happening August 7th and 8th. But what we do have coming up is we have Guadalajara about December 3rd. And the reason I say about December 3rd, their book show goes for a week and a half. And the dates we would have it would be December 3rd, 4th, or 5th. Okay. So December 3rd, 4th, or 5th, we're having our black tie cocktail dress evening gown event. Ragna and her business partner, Dr. Angelica Underwood, are bringing their group of women and men who are co-authoring a book together. Do you want to speak to that a little bit in Espanol? The title, por favor.
De Cero al Éxito, which is from zero to success, and this is mainly for all the startups and entrepreneurs who want to find themselves or do their business in a more disruptive way that they have done it before. And obviously, as our focus is going to be Latin America, and the book is going to be in Spanish, then it's something that will be very, very focused on certain type of entrepreneurs. Mainly in the group, we have a lot of people who are experienced on digital marketing. So there's going to be a lot of value adding from whatever you need in terms of online presence, and everything basically starts with the beliefs and how we can set up ourselves for success and in order to have a successful business. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think the group is absolutely fantastic. There's still one spot available. So
beautiful. We're excited about publishing that. Rosa Salazar is going to be a part of that. And she's going to, she's done 6,000 hours of television writing in Mexico, and she's a celebrity in Mexico. And you've got a number of celebrities in the book, including yourself, including, I think Samantha should be in the book. And I think Bella Cruz is going to be in the book. And I know Rosa Salazar is going to be in the book, as well as you and Dr. Underwood. So very exciting about that. So ladies, if you want to be included in that, broad distribution, the book is in Spanish, and we'll be distributing that throughout the Latin American market. Just very excited about that, guys. So share on we're giving away free books today. And one of the free books I want to give away is the book I wrote a few years ago called Bestseller Status. It's called Becoming a Best-Selling Author in the Digital Age. And this is an 88-page book. We've actually helped hundreds of people write and go bestseller as a result of the book. And I'm going to give you the link before we're done today on how to get a free copy of this book and share it with everyone you know. And it's a lot of fun. In fact, it's here in the comments. But before I do that, I want to kick it over to Daniel. Daniel, you've been chomping at the bit to share because you've been on stage so many times in the last 36 months. And then when you're done, we're going to hear from Jill Lublin, and she's in the house. Jill, how are you doing? Can you hear me in the green room? Woohoo. And just having so much fun today. Daniel, you've been so great at telling people how to make money from stage. Then all of a sudden the pandemic hits and boom, all the events get canceled, but you figured out a way to monetize in the virtual world. Talk to us, my friends. Daniel's a confidence coach, best-selling author of Sticker Shock. He spent years turning car dealerships around as the GM and as the sales manager. He knows how to increase confidence and increase your bottom line. So Daniel, talk to us.
Yeah, I think right now you just got to get out of your comfort zone. The one word that comes to mind is just exposure. you have to expose yourself right now. And if you don't have the confidence in yourself to expose yourself, just to open your heart, open your mind, open your soul, open everything you have to offer, you're going to miss the boat, because the people that are going to win right now in this season are the ones that are exposing themselves. And what I mean by exposure is like Ragnar. I saw Ragnar. She's going live twice. Amazing job. Great job. You got to be going live on Facebook. You got to be putting stuff on LinkedIn. Whatever social platform you're on right now, it's free. Let me say that it's free. And the people that are out there putting that free content, I tell you, they're going to be noticed, because when the gates open up, don't get me wrong, we are in the season right now, but once this opens up, everything's going to change. And the people that are taking action, going live, exposing themselves. And if somebody invites you out there to become part of a virtual summit, you have to say yes. Like Ragnar reached out to me, and I didn't know who she was, but she was just real generous. We did a Zoom call, and I'm like, heck yeah, I want to be part of something bigger. Why not say yes? And too many people that have said no in the past, you need to change those no's to yeses, because if you keep saying no, you're not going to get the exposure you need. And not only that, above this, the exposure, you're going to meet amazing people. Because I can tell you, I sit on the phone with Ragnar on a Saturday, and I usually don't do Saturday meetings, but we just had an amazing time. I got to hear her heart. She heard my heart, and it was good people. And I got a chance to read Rick Dendy, right? I met Rick. We helped him with his book launch, but it's just right now, there's two things you need to do to get on more stages. Is you got to expose yourself, and you have to be open to collaborations, because somebody knows 200 people that you don't know. Let me say it again. Somebody knows 200 people that you don't know. And if they see you serving, giving of your heart, because right now you got to give, right now you have to over deliver and under promise, because those people that are giving value content right now are the ones that are going to get seen as people that really care. Because right now the world is tired of people that are fake, and they want genuine, they want real, and they want somebody that's going to speak from the heart, Mike.
You know, that's real powerful, Daniel, and I appreciate that. Now, you've actually got an event coming up in July called Sticker Shock Speaking Academy. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we're going to have, it's going to be an amazing day. You and I both know we've been part of some of my last conferences. March 6th, we just had our Business Accelerator here in San Antonio, and we have one of the best stage builders in the country, I believe. And you've spoken on two of his stages, and that's Tim. Tim is amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to record you speaking on stage on an amazing, just built out stage, because most event planners don't build the stages because they cost a lot of money. Let's be honest about it. And for me, my big breakthrough came when I spoke to the U.S. military, to the Air Force, and I spoke on their stage. My wife, I asked my wife, hey, hon, you need to stay home because you need to go record me. And the day I got footage on that amazing stage is the day that my honorarium went up to 3,000, 5,000, 7,000 now, Michael. And we're going to record our speakers that come in on an amazing stage. It's going to have a lower third, and it's kind of like the scissor reel that you just made. It's just amazing HD quality. Because to get those $3,000, $5,000, $7,000 speaking engagements, let's be real. Event planners want to see you speaking on a nice stage, and if you have that, just that sizzle reel, that's evidence, first of all. And then what we're going to do also, just with the amazing speakers that we're bringing in, we're going to be doing video testimonials. So while you're speaking on stage, you're going to be grabbing video testimonials from the Rick Danleys, from the Michael D. Butlers, from people that are known all over the country. And those testimonials carry more weight. You gave me a testimonial last year when we were at Dr. James Denley's event, and look, that got me a paid speaking gig. So video testimonials, if you're not getting video testimonials right now, you're making a big mistake. Right now, I would recommend, if you've spoken at a last event, at anybody's virtual event right now, you need to go back there and tell them, hey, can you record me a 30-second or a minute testimonial and email and send it to me? Because those testimonials carry a lot of weight, Michael.
Well, they really do, Daniel. I appreciate you, and we're going to come back to you. I know Scott needs to be on the stage. Scott speaks, and I just wondered, did I get my commission on that testimonial, on that speaking? you know, it's good. It's good. I am so excited because in just a few minutes we're gonna bring Jill Lublin on it, and Jill has been a friend for a long time. She knows the PR space. She knows the PR and marketing space, and she's got a course, a done for you course, done with you course to teach you as an author how to get in the news. And, you know, producers and editors and journalists are always looking for people to get in the news. But Daniel, you had mentioned the scissor roll video, and I'm just going to share my screen right now. And so they can get an idea of what speaking on your stage looks like. Daniel, let me know if you can see my screen right now.
Nope.
Can you see? No.
Try it again.
I tell you this
Nothing yet. No,
StreamYard thing. Sometimes when I say share the screen, can you see it now?
There it is. There it is.
There it is. Okay, so you go to the Beyond Publishing website, and we've got a couple of things going on here at the Beyond Publishing site. One thing is we're hiring, and you can see careers here. When you go to the careers tab, you can see that we are hiring, and so learn more about that. But also, we're giving away a scholarship. We've got some of the authors that we've featured recently, launched recently. Some of you that are on this interview right now. I know Dee Dee was trying to get on. She's our top-selling fiction author. She was not able to. Technical glitch there, and Bella was trying to get on. But and Claude, I know Claude is coming on board to speak with us and at your group in San Antonio. So we've got some beautiful covers here. But when you click on apply for scholarship, right here at the top, you can apply for the scholarship. But what I wanted to show you and everyone here was the video that we produced here just recently.
And I'm affectionately known as the $2.5 billion host. That's how much I've grossed by infomercials, home shopping, and the internet. Yeah, I have an eye for talent. I know how to blow it up. Well, every once in a while, I'll meet somebody extraordinary. His name is Michael D. Butler. Yeah, he created a company called Beyond Publishing, and he is true magic. Not only does he have a great smile, and he's very energetic, but he happens to be the real deal.
How many of you in here have a story? You have a story, right? There's more people buying and reading books now than ever.
And I've written a book, and I can honestly tell you that this man goes above and beyond. It's not just serve his clients, but to serve the people that his clients are in love with.
Hey, I appreciate you, Daniel, for paying it back, man. I think I recognized that testimonial there at the end was your voice, right? Well, one of my best friends told me what happens when we fell to market, when we fell to market, and we fell to share our story. And you know what happens? Absolutely nothing. So with that being said, the publicity expert is in the house all the way from San Francisco, California. Jill Lublin, how are you?
Hey, Michael and friends. How are you? Doing great. Thank you.
Hey, Jill. Thank you so much, Jill, taking time out of your busy schedule. Hey, you and Steve celebrated a birthday together, or birthdays together, and you've been together 24 years. I almost said your anniversary, but you share the same birthday, and you had about, I don't know, 70 or 80 people show up for your birthday party this week. So
Yeah,
with it being your birthday,
it was digital and online. It was so much fun.
well, Eric Swanson says hi and happy birthday. There you go, Daniel. Everybody loves Eric. Hey, Eric, what's up, brother? And so, Jill, you've been helping people. You've been helping entrepreneurs. You've been helping authors and experts for years get publicity. So have things changed now in this pandemic? Share with us, because we mainly have authors, speakers, and experts from around the globe watching. What can people do right now during the pandemic?
So, first of all, you're all in good hands with Mr. Butler over here, because I've known this man many years, and I'm just grateful to be here with all of you. And one thing I want to say that is so key, having written the book Guerrilla Publicity, that was my first book. I've got 4 now, and they're all on, major houses.
And we're doing your 5th one.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had a verbal on that the other day. I'm normally good, right, Daniel, about putting the contract over while the verbal commitment is So anyway,
I'm an eyewitness now. I'm an eyewitness, Jill. It's official.
It's official. Uh-oh. So, listen, here's the deal. You got to get your message out. Like now more than ever in this moment is an amazing time to get your message out. What do I mean by that? I mean that I want you all to think about what your message is And how can you shift it and pivot your message so that it's appropriate for this moment? I call it getting publicity in troubled times, right? Because here's the deal. Depending on what book you wrote, like I wrote this one, The Profit of Kindness. Now let's see, I can't quite see that, but I think I want to show you something about when you show your books, you've got to put them a little bit face down so that the glare goes away. Because look what happens when it goes straight up, right? And you always want to keep your book by your face so that you get that kind of recognition that you deserve with your book and name and face recognition, right? When I wrote Profit of Kindness,
you taught me that years ago, and it's a habit now. It feels weird when you first do it, but you've got to do this when you're practicing in front of the mirror, your speech, and then your interview guys, because you might only have 5 seconds on camera, right? And this is the moment.
And then I want you to practice it on Zoom also so that you see how it comes across, where it is in relation to your face. So make sure to practice it in front of the Zoom camera also. It'll help a lot. And so for example, with Profit of Kindness, when it first came out, as much as, I help all my authors think about the spin and the most appropriate language for right now. But truthfully, it's never about the book, my friends. It's never about the book. So I just need to tell you that. It's all about the book, but it's not about the book with regard to your message. Your message has to be broader, more focused, and very specific for the media. So what the message was that worked with the Profit of Kindness was the divided states of America. Well, now, if you're, it's only a year and a quarter later since the book's been out. What's happening now? What's happening now is that kindness really matters. You hear that word kindness like every 2 minutes. What am I doing? I'm going out again with the Profit of Kindness and how to use it. And then we're actually launching kindness circles, which has been in my heart for quite a while, which will lead up to a kindness summit, right? And so it all has a purpose, but if you see, it's beyond the book, right? And I want you to keep going beyond the book. So
beyond. Don't y'all love how she keeps saying beyond? Isn't that awesome?
Yes, it is awesome. So that's the other fun thing I wanted to teach you. And yes, I'm doing that very purposely, Michael, just for you, because I adore you and you're terrific and you serve people so well. So, when I wrote Guerrilla Publicity, this was actually my first book. And this is actually the 3rd edition because we sold so many copies. Hallelujah. Over 80,000 copies, right? So we're going into 3rd edition, but I'm going to teach you something right now about how to do your message so that your message really matters. The thing that you need to do is put in your book title into your main message, and with your message, solve problems out in the marketplace. Like I would say something like 4 out of 5 businesses will go out of business because, you don't know how to do publicity without spending a fortune, right? And I want to give you 3 guerrilla publicity tips. Now, what I just tell you my book title was Guerrilla Publicity. What fascinates me is most people don't even pick this up. Like, don't clobber people over the head with it. Just put it in. It could be one name. It could be, it could be your whole book title. It could be a coaching or consulting program. But I want you to start doing that with your books. It'll make a world of difference, and you will start getting your message out. And then think about how can you shift and pivot your message right now? Like my parenting coach who wrote a book on parenting, we're going out with a story about how to homeschool your kids without pulling your hair out, right? Or my relationship coach who wrote a relationship book, we're doing a piece on how to be in a relationship without killing your spouse, right? All these things.
That's very timely right now.
Yeah, exactly. All these things that people are dealing with that they never had to deal with before. So I really hope that some of these things have helped you start thinking about shifting and pivoting your message so that your message matters. And if for whatever reason it doesn't quite fit for this moment, then here's the big thing. You must be planting seeds for your publicity garden to grow, because literally publicity works 3, 6, and 9 months ahead. So you want to be planting your seeds now so that your foundation grows, your garden grows, And then what's so super cool about that is, as a thought leader, you will be really first up when people are talking about you 9 months from now. In fact, I'll tell you, in guerrilla publicity, I actually was privileged to talk to Entrepreneur Magazine, Fast Company Magazine. And one of the things that Entrepreneur shared with me, I want to share with you, is she said, you know, for our June issue, our production deadline is, let's see, for June issue, it was March, okay?
Right.
And then the writer's deadline was January. So think about that. She's already 6 months ahead, and we haven't even done anything. You know what I'm saying, right?
Right.
So I want all of you to start putting your name out there now. Do the things you need to do. One thing is pivot your message. That'll make a big difference.
Now, one thing, Jill, you've really done for years is you've taught authors how to get the word about their book into their pitch. So anytime you're talking to the media, you're able to incorporate all 3, 4, or soon coming 5 titles into that pitch when you tell people that elevator pitch of, "Hi, I'm Jill Lublin." Can you give us an example of that now?
Yeah, I'll show you right now. So here's mine. You know, this is like, for instance, when Profit of Kindness came out, I'll tell you, I was on 7 Fox TV news networks talking about kindness in the first 10 days of the book coming out, right? So you got to be prepared. You got to go fast. An average Fox News segment is 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That's fast. All right. So here's how I do it. I say, the problem today, and I always incorporate a problem first. The problem today is 4 out of 5 businesses, or if I'm talking to speakers, I'll say speakers, right, will go out of business because you have no clue how to create publicity without spending a fortune. I want to give you 3 guerrilla publicity tips today for how to get your message in the media. The first way to, this is my book on McGraw-Hill, and I don't show them this when I'm saying it, but I'm just showing you to demonstrate the point. The first way to get noticed, notice that's 2 words of the book. The first way to get noticed is to create your ooh, ah factor. The second way is to create the I've heard of you somewhere syndrome. And the third way, this is my 4th book, is to focus on networking magic and show up in your communities at least twice a month for name and face recognition. Now, my friends, I used every book title in there. And you notice I didn't say subtitles. I didn't even sometimes say the whole title. But the point is, we got the name in there. So put it in there somehow, put your coaching program in there, whatever it is, make it work. The other thing is, I want you to know, this is a slightly different studio setup I have because of StreamYard. But let me just say, all of my books are right behind me in every Zoom call I do. I'm putting them back right now.
I was going to say, there they are. There they are. Talk to us a little bit about that, because, you know, sometimes I was watching the news the other day, and of course, the doctors in New York, we pray for them, bless their hearts. We know they're working 24/7. And I saw a medical doctor, you know, and last week's laundry was laying on the floor. She's in the bedroom doing the Zoom live or the Skype, and she looked exhausted, but she's talking to national news, and then they cut to something else and kept her voice. But, you know, it's raw and real sometimes, right? In fact, I want to show us, you were speaking about 12 years ago. You look great and the same. You haven't changed, but I've gotten a lot older. So you know where I'm going with this, right? So when you type in Jill Lublin and Michael Butler on YouTube, here's what you get. Daniel, let me know if my screen is sharing, okay? Can you see?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet?
Nothing
let me
yet.
know. Oh, I'll figure it out.
There it is.
Okay, guys, this was actually 12 years ago, even though it says 2013. I
We're here
reposted.
with best-selling author Jill Lublin's doing a seminar today on publicity. Here in Dallas, Texas, you can hear the fire alarms, the fire department's here. Jill Lublin doing a seminar today on get noticed, get referrals. What would you encourage business people watching today?
Michael, you can probably hear the fire engines roaring in the background. And you know what? If we're in the middle of my crash course in publicity, and we had a bit of a fire alarm going off. But my question to you is, what are you working on in business? Because right now, Michael's creating for you a valuable tip, something to help support you while you're listening and while you're doing your business. What are you working on today, right now, no matter what's going on in your life? Are you focused on your business and creating value and benefits? in your business and product.
Okay.
Jill, that's Jill Lublin with Get Noticed, Get Referrals.
Jill, I love you so much. You keep turning out great stuff year after year. Let's give a big hand to Jill Lublin. I'm telling you.
Thank you. But wait,
Just
I
awesome.
got to tell you one thing, okay?
Yeah.
Number one, I'm looking at some people on here, and I heard some beautiful things around. You got books out, but I don't see all your books in right near you. Okay, so that's something to just shift and change. Yeah, but we need to see them even closer and be able to distinguish them easier. Just want to say that. I think that's really important. Okay, so just something to pay attention to always make sure your visuals include your books. And I just want to say, Michael, the funniest thing about, he was at my publicity crash course, and we did literally have a fire alarm. And one thing is, we were outside, and you know what I did? I kept going. I mean, I wasn't, full board, like, oh my God, you got to take notes. But did I keep going, Michael? Right? And so here's the deal. Shit happens. Excuse me. Did I say that? Stuff happens in media. Things will go out. Things will go off, and you just got to keep going. It just doesn't matter. Your message matters. That's what I want you to remember. Your message matters.
Well, it does. And people can find you. Let me get your website back up here at jilllublin.com. You're always providing so much value. How do people find you and follow you, Jill?
Thank you. Well, if you just type me in on social media, same thing, Jill Lublin. And I do offer a fabulous free webinar on how to get publicity in troubled times. Do me a favor, just email us and we'll put you on the list, support@jilllublin.com. And maybe you can put that in there too, Michael. It'd be fabulous. Support@jilllublin.com.
Yeah.
Great to help you all I can.
Yeah, that is great. We've spoken on some of the same stages virtually and around the world. In fact, we're going to be, God willing, doing an event together at Frankfurt, Germany. But also, I've officially invited you to speak at our event in Guadalajara. Ragnar will be there. Daniel will be there. Samantha will be there. Hopefully, Scott, you'll come on down to Guadalajara the day after the world's largest book show. We have the event at the Westin right across the street. And what a phenomenal time there. We've got local celebrities, and we've been asked by the local bookstore to local bookstores, the largest bookstore, independent bookstore in all of Mexico. They have 16 bookstores, to have our authors do book signings in those bookstores. So we're going to come in a few days early. Rick, we know you're still there. We ran out of room in the green room. We'll bring you back in a little bit, but we want you to be there representing Canada, and the Maple Leafs. You come represent, brother, and help all of in fact, we need to translate into Spanish by December. In fact, let's just mention that 76% of books in English are bought and consumed outside the U.S. So we need to talk about translating, and we need to talk about StreamYard. I know Eric Swanson, we appreciate you, brother. We know you're watching. You've been commenting a lot. We appreciate that. Don't you just love StreamYard? And Jill, didn't you just love being on his summit the other day?
Eric is one of the best and most amazing people. You would need to know, all of you. So go check him out too. Yes. He is awesome. That's his word, and it's true. It's who he is.
Okay, Eric has committed to be on the stage at Guadalajara, and you have committed to be on the stage with your fifth book with me. So we're going to have that fifth book done by then. We might as well, right? We might as well.
As long as you tell me what it's about, it'll be great.
Okay. Well, I have the data on that right now. So that's what next week's webinar is about. Did you see Eric's comment? Jill's hair was on fire and set off the fire alarm. Yes, that's, always a PR person pulling the fire alarms everywhere you go.
I'll tell you, a girl's got to make noise, if you know what I'm saying, right? And Daniel, I loved your comment about you've got to get exposure and you've got to keep yourself out there, because, if I had to underline something, I'd underline that 1,000,000 times over. And to say to all of you, there are just such easy ways right now. I love what you said about getting on the different platforms. It's so easy right now to use your phone, get on Facebook Live, just start talking, my friends. It doesn't have to be perfect. People will love you anyway, even if your hair isn't done. Oh my God, I can't wait to get my hair done again. But all that. Thank God it's curly and you can't tell much, right? But
hey, I got to know, did you and Steve enjoy your birthday party, and did you get to take advantage of of some spa time. Did you find some solace and some peace and quiet?
I definitely found some peace and quiet, and spa day is at home. I did I recently spoke in Egypt, which was amazing. And during that trip, since I couldn't go to the London Book Fair, which was canceled, I thought, well, I'll just go to Jordan. Actually, I was going to go and I got this beautiful Dead Sea mud from Jordan. Let me just tell you, I had a great time. And that was my spa day. Have you been there? Isn't it wonderful? It's wonderful.
I've been to Amman. I didn't get to spend any time there, but I spent a lot of time in Israel like you have. In fact, last year's Jerusalem book show was beautiful. Of course, they opted not to have that in the Italy book show, but it looks like we're going to have a great big party in Guadalajara.
Yes, we are.
And we've got some other folks that are going to be joining us soon coming on. And I want to thank you so much for joining us, Jill. I'm going to put your site up one more time. And I think this next lady that's coming on here, Mary Jo Hilliker. And
thank
can
you,
hear
Michael.
Mary Jo?
You guys are awesome. Keep it out there, okay? Keep out there.
Hey, Jill,
Bye-bye.
we're going to be doing, Jill, you and I are going to be doing an event together. So let's be in contact about that, okay?
I look forward to it, Michael. All right, you guys, you're in good hands. Take care. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Mary Jo, how are you?
I'm here. I'm great. How are you?
Hey, it's great to have another Texan in the house now.
No barbecue though.
Well, I think we lost Samantha. She used to be in Texas, but I did barbecue the other day, and I'm pretty good, if I can say. But we got a Canadian in the house here that's pretty good at barbecue, from what I can tell. Hey,
oh, that's great.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah, I try.
Now, Mary Jo, I want to maximize our time with you, and thanks for being so right on time. You're writing a book. You're here in Dallas. We're publishing your book, and we love your story. You've been through some crazy twists and turns over your years, and you keep bouncing back and landing on your feet. I'm going to get your website and everything up, but go ahead and introduce yourself to the group, and we're just so honored to have you here.
Well, great. Mary Jo Hilliker here. Lots of background, lawyer by profession, but, became vice president general counsel of a multi-billion-dollar company at 28 years old, which was almost 40 years ago. So long before the Me Too movement, but it was exciting lifestyle, but it was also not serving my soul. So I ended up getting into the entrepreneurial endeavors and did that for a number of years, starting my own companies and making some terrific investments. And for the last 25 years, I've been in the nutrition field as well, because of my dad having a miracle result with some nutritional products I came across, and also built a real estate empire. And just basically now I spend probably half my year in the mission field and enjoying life with my family and all my grandkids. So
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, how has the pandemic affected you? I'm going to put your website up here. How has the pandemic affected? How have you shifted and pivoted? And I know you've got some residual income because of the company you're with, but you're still speaking and doing virtual stuff. I know we would see you speaking all over the country and all over the world. In fact, Daniel and I want to take you to Pakistan and Guadalajara and speaking everywhere. So in South Africa, I know you've been to, in fact, some of your stuff is so popular in South Africa that your name is kind of a calling card over there. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And of course, I spend a lot of time all over the world. But first and foremost, the pandemic really hasn't impacted me much because all my businesses are home-based. So when they say shelter at home, I'm business as usual, right? And then being in the nutrition industry with some very powerful immune system products, my business grew 25% last month.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
So I just say, Lord, don't let me be numb to the phenomenal negative impact this is having on so many people, because truly a lot of people are really being hurt by what's going on, and I'm real sensitive to that. So, but yeah, traveling around the world has been great. I've been in South Africa a few times, and through my nutrition business, I established or built a tape called Let's Go Natural, because I'm very much into staying away from drugs.
Yeah.
in fact, I'm 65 now, and I've never had a prescription drug in my body. And
Oh my gosh, that's great.
feel like I'm 25, so that's great. But so I teach and preach that. Let's Go Natural was a DVD I did about 15
Well, and the
years
energy,
ago.
I see you traveling. I mean, you were speaking in LA. Daniel and I were in LA last fall. You were speaking at the same event. You flew out, came back, flew out, came back. You're in the plane more than I am.
I know. Well, I've been a little grounded for the last month. So
We
yeah.
have, haven't we?
But yes, I do. I love to travel. I have no problem. But I'm also, again, going back to the health. Most of the time when the person sits next to me on the plane, when we land, they look at me and they go, "Do you realize you fell asleep before we took off and you just woke up?" I mean, that's really because my life is so packed full of crazy activities that when I get on an airplane and I have to stay seated in one spot, you bet my body goes, "Okay, we know exactly what to do right now."
But you're always generating ideas, right? What I love
always.
about you is you're so young at heart and you have a childlike faith and spirit. And then you're always creating because you have that childlike faith. You're always creating.
Right. Absolutely. I always come up with new ideas. I just spent the last 3 weeks building out an entire new website called Immune Tech. So to help people who are really looking for immune system boosts that will protect them, because it's not what happened to us in the last 4 to 8 weeks. It's why not protect yourself the rest of your life? Because now's the time to get serious about it. So
Yeah.
I did that. Yeah. I kind of tell people.
Tell us.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I came up with a little jingle the other day, not trying to be insensitive because my heart does bleed for all the people that are having problems, but it's called "No Community, Build Immunity, Provides an Incredible Opportunity." So that's my new jingle.
Well, you know, I know you're a person of faith as well, and I know you've done some amazing things. Do you want to tell about the story, the gut-wrenching story that changes and challenges so many people, and then tell us about what you're writing in the book?
Sure. Well, I'll highlight it from a little different perspective, perhaps even than you've heard, Michael. I like to talk about like Christmas of 1999. One of my stepdaughters gave me a book for Christmas, and it was called A Voice in the Wind. And I know probably some of you have heard of it, by Francine Rivers. She's a Christian author. And I was so busy that I decided to wait till I went on my trip to Thailand. I won an incentive trip to Thailand that year. And so I waited till April to read it. I got on the airplane. I started reading this book. And like many of us, when we get entrenched in a book, we get so excited about it. It's like we can't put it down. I'm not sure how many hours I slept the next couple of days because I just really wanted to finish the book. And I was on a bus in Thailand going to orangutan park, and I was finishing this book, and I had like 40 pages left. And I realized, wait a minute, this book isn't going to end. You know, it's developing stories that you just know can't possibly end in 40 pages. And I looked at the back of the book, and it was a trilogy. It was book one of the three book trilogy. And I was beside myself. I was just so upset because I was so enthralled with the book. And so I was in this bus with all these people that were in this incentive with me. And I just was like kind of looking around frustrated. And across the aisle, in the seats behind me, across the aisle, the row behind, was a man I knew, Dr. Wilkins, and he was reading the second book of the trilogy. And I was like, so I asked him, begged him, of course, and he gave me the book. So I got to read that, so in the book, the trilogy, and of course, when I got back home, I went out and bought the third book. So I finished it all in the first couple of weeks of April. But the trilogy is really about a story about a Jewish girl named Hadassah. She was a Christian, and she had, she was having a hard time in her life because she was a slave in a Roman family, and she fell in love with the son, and they found out she was a Christian. So the family threw her into the Colosseum to be killed by the lions. And the story goes on that the medical professional got a hold of her because they use them for anatomy purposes. Once they drag these bodies out of the Colosseum, she was still breathing, and he chose to risk his life to save her. And so she, of course, mangled, now her face damaged, her legs. And she went back into society, and she ended up marrying this son of this Roman family because they really loved each other, and forgiving his family for what they had done to her. And who would have known, but like 2 weeks after that, I finished reading this incredible trilogy, which just captivated me. I was out speaking at an engagement, and I got a phone call, and my brother had been shot and killed. And my brother had gone through seminary. He was like, for me, I looked at him like he was like the Jesus in my life, right? The live one that walked with me and talked with me, really, physically. And I mean, he was just such a precious soul. He was somebody that would walk up to you and he'd say, "How are you?" He couldn't go, "Hey, how are you, man?" That just, he was incapable of that. Every word out of his mouth carried such depth of meaning. And he just loved the Lord so deeply. And I was so angry. I was out at a speaking engagement. I found out, I knew immediately it was his wife, because I knew she was a little crazy and they had had issues in the past. And I was so angry. My friend took me to her church. They had a prayer room on a Friday night, and I just screamed at God for probably 3 hours. I was so spent. I was so angry. Why not take her? And I blamed myself, what I could have done. You know, you go through so much emotional stuff. But I woke up the next morning, and it was like I had this peace and understanding of where I needed to be. And I had this forgiveness for her that surpasses any possible logic or reasoning. There was no reason, right? And I ended up flying out to California to take care of everything, you know, the funeral, and the families out there, they just flocked to his funeral. They had to have it at a Catholic church because their church was too small. Everybody in town showed up. This is Mammoth Lakes, California. And I visited her in jail, and I prayed with her and told her I forgave her.
Oh, wow. Of
course, I got back in the car and I drove back to the, Mammoth Lakes, and I was like, what the heck was that? And some of this was truly out of body, but it truly was purposeful. I mean, it really served such an incredible purpose, because I knew I was going to take these two kids. Imagine raising two children, teenagers, 14 and 16.
Your niece and nephew.
My niece and nephew dragged them away from their whole school. And you know what that's like when you're a teenager, leaving all of your friends and raising them the next couple of years in high school. And if I carried unforgiveness towards her, where do you think they would be today? Right.
Oh.
And I even actually said to them, when you reach this level of forgiveness, I want you to start visiting her in prison. So, yeah. So within a year, they were flying out to California every year to see their mom. And David, actually, the oldest one, went to school at Point Loma Nazarene University. So he was seeing her every year once he went out there for college. And
that is beautiful. Now, is this what the story's about, your book?
Yeah. It talks about finding yourself in that impossible place. And our incapacity as humans, because we allow societal norms and other, expectations of the world around us. We need to be right in what we do. And we allow all this to control our decision making instead of saying, really, what's appropriate here? If I would carry unforgiveness, it would just be like poison in my system for the rest of my life. I could claim being right. I was right. She did something horrific that is unimaginable and robbed me of my favorite sibling. But was it more important for me to be right, or for me to have a healthy life and be able to raise these kids and be able to live life to its fullest every day thereafter? Without
the first time I met you, you were speaking on Bill Walsh's stage. I met you about the time I met Dr. James Dentley and Eric Swanson. And I tell you, people feel the love coming out of your heart. I knew you were a person of faith. I could see it. And I just love the hope you bring to people. And somebody that's really being hurt in this pandemic. I mean, we're going to have Dr. James Dentley close us out today with an inspirational message. And then Eric's going to say a few words. But anytime I meet with you or hear you speak, you just touch everybody in such a wonderful way. What words would you give somebody that's going through some hell on earth right now.
Yeah, I would say don't get caught up in the moment, that this is just temporary, this too shall pass. And instead of capturing and allowing the world around us and the negativity to flood into your heart, how can you be a beacon of light? Because there's always a way. There's always something we can choose to do with whatever's happening around us to bring joy and bring a sense of peace for other people. Because truly, when you do that, you'll find your greatest sense of joy and peace.
Well, I love that. I love that. Mary Jo, I hope you stick around, and I hope you're able to help us close out the bottom of the hour here. Do you know the gentleman sitting next to you here, Eric Swanson, that was texting me off camera and trying to make me laugh earlier? How you doing, Mr. Awesome?
What's up, man? I just walked in from the the outside. I got my thing on. I'm good, man. I'm rocking. Hey, I just wanted to swing over here and just say hi real quick and
good to see you, bro.
Little shout out to Jill Lublin. Here we go. Check it out, Jill Lublin technique right there.
That's right.
So I just wanted to let everyone know. Look, if you haven't had a chance, like here, I wrote down the reasons why people get stuck for not doing their book, not writing their book, and not reaching out to. I've got literally a list of reasons why they should not reach you. And here's the deal. It's blank. Okay. So my point is reach out to this guy. This guy's amazing. Michael Butler will take you to the next level. He's amazing. He is literally like Daniel. Daniel's like, okay, there's God and then there's Michael Butler. Like you're right next to, you're right there, man. So the point is, if you have a story and you want to change people's lives, let me put this on. No, let me get rid of it. It's hot in this thing. So my point is this. Reach out to Michael, talk to him, have this conversation, write your book, write your next book. Here's the deal. You want to finish your first book. You know what you do? You work on your third book now with him.
That's exactly right.
Your first book. Does that make sense? Reach out to him, get it done. And that's the thing. Most people don't get their books done. It's like Wayne Dyer used to tell me, don't die with your stuff inside you. Wayne used to have a brown suit. I don't know if you guys have ever met Wayne. Two things I noticed. One is he had a brown suit that had 0 pockets in it on the suit. And I'm like, why don't you have any pockets? He's like, when I die, I'm not bringing anything with me. So this is the way you leave a legacy, is by leaving a book, leaving your awesomeness, right?
That's
and
right.
The second thing I noticed about Wayne is when he hugs you twice. He literally hugs you and then re-hugs you right there. You're like, whoa, you're like this. It's awesome. But that's the thing, is Michael will share with you how to hug people through something like this. My time is up. Gotta go. Talk to you guys later. Rock and roll.
Eric, we love you, man. Awesome. Hey, I loved your event yesterday. The other day was awesome, and keep us posted on the next one. I want to give a big shout out.
Coming up next Friday.
Hey, you want to watch your friend and mine, Dr. James Dentley from Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, baby?
Dr. James live. How you doing, James?
Boom.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dentley, for joining us from Chicago. How are you, my friend?
I am outstanding, man. Every day is a great day, my friend, and some are just better. This is a better one. How are you?
Well, you and Kara, I just love it. I've been in your home. We've been up there. Daniel and I actually first met through Tom Chesser, and Daniel and I were in your home. We were at your event, Inspired to Speak. You do such a great training camp. Training speakers, and just like South Africa, Mary Jo is famous in South Africa. You and Kara are famous in South Africa, and that's why we were going to have South Africa. It's midnight now in South Africa, and they were having it wasn't that they weren't going to join us, but because of the virus, they're having Wi-Fi problems. They're actually getting shot at with rubber bullets in the street if they're out too much. And you've been there, you know what it's like. But I tell you, you've got a mighty army in South Africa and around the world. You earned your doctorate, and you've got a doctorate in the ministry, and you've helped people. You push entrepreneurs up. You've created millionaires, and used to actually live. Speaking of Dallas, Texas, you used to run Steak and Ales down here in Dallas, Texas, right?
Dallas, Houston, Midland, Odessa, and Abilene, sir.
Oh, we just love you, man. The first time I heard you speak, I met you through Bill Walsh. You were at
Mm-hmm.
one of his events in Vegas speaking, and I just fell in love with you, your content, your heart, your passion for helping people. How many of you on this call have benefited from the business and the ministry and the love of Dr. Dentley? Raise your hand. Has he touched you?
Yeah, me
Thousands
too.
of people watching. I tell you what. What have you learned the last few days? And you know, the other thing was we came off of the Marketers Cruise. Let me bring you back in, brother. We came off the Marketers Cruise, and you were in a lot of pain.
Oh yeah.
Kind of bring us up the story. Kind of bring how you doing now, and during the pandemic. I know you've been empowering your teams all over the world.
Oh yeah.
What's going on?
Well, you know, I just don't know how to stop. I just don't know how to quit, man. You know, I had a sciatica. I tell you, I started with sarcoidosis. I moved through sarcoidosis, overcame that, and then went through cancer. That was pretty serious, and 2.5 years cancer free. And then I developed sciatica, and I had sciatica for about a year, and they couldn't figure out really what to do about it and how to move me through it. And as soon as I moved through it, they're wondering, why are you still in pain? And found out it was my hip. So then I had to have a hip replacement. So it's so interesting. We were on the cruise, and it hurt to sit down, but I would fatigue if I stood up too long. So I have up and down, up and down, up and down. I had a scooter. It hurt worse on the scooter than it did trying to walk, but I couldn't walk very far. But you know what? It was the most impactful and the best Marketers Cruise I've ever had, because I got a chance to relax and really be able to look at things from a different perspective. So, and since the pandemic broke out, you know, I'm a believer. And I love Mary Jo's message, first of all. So on point. Whatever book you got, I'm reading it, because I agree with that 100%. It was just great, phenomenal content. You know, Mr. Swanson, how much I love you, man. But I'll tell you, when things go wrong, you don't go wrong with them. You know, you decide what's going to be the next best thing to do. And when it goes crazy, I don't go crazy. I know from the ashes rise the phoenix. So in calamity, there's always opportunity. So as we pray and our hearts go out to those who have been touched. I've lost 4 friends in this pandemic season. But I know that this will pass, as Mary Jo stated. It will pass. And if we look at it, not only will we see that there's a brighter light and we become a beacon of light through the stories based upon what we want to focus on, but we'll realize that we're nature's greatest miracle. We are nature's greatest. If you have a child, nobody can make that kid but you. Nobody can do that one but you. You know, so we're not, you know.
And you've got a beautiful family, and your kids love you. And you know what's so beautiful to me about this? We spent the 2 days, that I think 3 or 4 days, it may have been a whole week. It was a week. It went by so fast, and you gave us so much content. When I'm close to somebody and I see how much their kids love them, it means a lot to me. I just want you to speak to us from the heart, inspire us. I love you as a believer, and I love you as a man of faith and as a husband. I see how much your wife loves you, respects you. Yeah. But I also know when the pandemic hit, you said, guys, I got to help my team. And you've been live. You've been working like 20 hours a day with your team.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, first of all, you know, Sharon Lecter says it best: if you can solve a problem and feel a need. And with this pandemic, there's a lot of anxiety. It's twofold. Number one is our health. We have to be very careful and very conscious now, because now we do affect other people, and this is global. So we're finally getting it. We are our brothers and sisters' keeper, that we all do affect each other. So we have to be very conscious of that. The other side of it is that, you know, now when you back up away from it's broken up the natural routine, the rhythm that people have been in all their life, where we become so unconscious to things around us, because we get up and we just do what we do. We just go to work, or we operate our business. We just do what we do. And now it allows us to back up. And if you can go into gratitude, you'll find the peace and you'll find the clarity that you need. The second part is the anxiety of financially, economically. Anytime the roller coasters around the world in Disneyland stop moving, there's an issue.
Yeah.
When Times Square shuts down, when Gold Coast shuts down, when Eiffel Tower and there's nobody there gawking and taking pictures, and in Tokyo, you know. So when you look at that, these are different times, but through these great times, it always bears a seed that will, well nourished, will grow fruit of equal and an opposite and a better and greater advantage. So I'm looking forward to the future, because now it's time for God to show up, or for us to see what has already been there. How about that?
Well, absolutely, absolutely. Well, I invited you and Kara to South Africa. We're going to keep our eyes on South Africa for September, see if that happens.
Okay.
We're relaunching a couple of your books. So excited about. You've got a tribe of people that follow you, and what's so beautiful about this is you've been, from the direct sales and the network marketing space. This is a space you and I come from similar backgrounds. Ordained ministers, then going into direct sales and network marketing, and now helping people. Speak, because you've got team members all over the world that have never done a talk at Toastmasters, let alone speak in front of a group of people that they want to close and sell and bring into their business. So what advice would you say for somebody that's terrified to even get in front of the camera right now?
Well, first thing is that when you have that fear, that anxiety, that it comes because you're thinking about you. Right. You're thinking about how you're going to look. Are you going to remember the right things to say? Are you going to stumble and fumble? How will you be perceived? And the main thing is that it's never about you. Like when you come to our camp, I teach you that you're not the star of the show when you're on the stage. You're the director. The audience is a star. And if you don't make it about you and you make it about that audience, you move into a conversation and you learn to become fully self-expressed. So there's a process I've always taken people through to get them there and make people understand that your communication is your new currency. That is
communication is your new currency. I like that. We're going to put that in here. That was the biggest thing you taught when Daniel and I were at your event, is you taught us how to flip the mic, and you taught us how to focus on the audience rather than focus on ourselves. Because I've done 3,000 paid talks. I used to stutter as a kid, but after 3,000 paid talks, I still get nervous before I go out and address a crowd of 5 or 5,000. But when you said that at the camp, flip the mic, that really helped me focus in on the listener. Give me more on that.
Well, it's really about, Michael, being fully self-expressed. When you study your craft, and, I take people through a series of what you do in the preset. How do you condition yourself? And I have a ritual before I speak, even on this live. So when I open up my eyes and I come forward, then I go to another place and I release it. And I ask God to use me as a vehicle to bless, to inspire, and to impact the people that I'm speaking to. And I really just make it all about the people that are in front of me. And I choose to look at this as something I'm very honored by and very humbled, because I understand that nobody has to listen. But when we take that stage, then we're able to impact, inspire, and distract people from the story that they've created about themselves, and take them on a journey within themselves they can never go by themselves. And when you understand that and how to use the cadence of your voice as a soundtrack, understand the personality types to speak into the listening, know even the nervous system of another human being, I think that's when you got it. And if you're married or you have a significant other, practice on your other one, man. Speak into that nervous system.
You are the master. You are the master of this. Hey, and I love how real you are. You are so real, my friend. Let me ask you this. You've done a great job at building a global brand with everything you're doing about the Executives Club in Chicago. Give all the speakers and authors that are watching right now and that'll watch the replay, how do they build a 7-figure speaking business? Because some of them are just looking one-off, at a book saying, hey, I wrote my book, now what, right? I wrote my book, now what? Well, where's my 7 figures? You truly show people how to build a 7-8-figure business by building the overall brand.
Yeah. Well, we always talk about thinking big. And if someone does not have that capacity yet, then I have to give them something big to think about. And then you look at the why. Why do you want to think big? It can't just be about making money. It's about creating impact. And as you expand, then it increases your ability to help other people to expand, to bring out their gifts. Because the true testament to me in speaking is how many people have you impacted that's come after you and through you. And now where are they at right now? I'm so proud of Daniel. I'm ready to training speaker, because I'm watching Daniel. Just backing up and all. And not just as a speaker, but as a human being. And his wife, Mari, we were all at the gala together having a great time. So it's really about how many people can you duplicate themselves. I've seen a lot of great speakers. A lot of them are my friends. But my whole life is about duplication. From the time I managed restaurants as an 18-year-old kid to to now in network marketing. It's all about how many people can you help and inspire get there if they're willing to pay the price and willing to fight. So, so when you talk about building your speaker business, it's really about, number one, I believe it's about who you spend your time around, who you can count on and who you can count out. Because even the Bible says that he who keeps company with the wise shall be wise, but he who keeps company with fools shall be destroyed. So how do you get yourself into a network or create a network where you start to think bigger, where you can expand, and then you can look for the spaces where you can solve a problem or fill a need, the spaces that are missing. And then I ask myself every day, how can I become better? How can I serve more? How can I help people become even better? I look for the spaces because I don't want to do the same thing everybody's doing. So what I did is I created the infrastructure. So you're speaking, you're building these great value-based relationships. You're creating value, and you're collaborating. You're collaborating with other people who bring things to the table, have gifts and ideas and talents that you don't have, but they're a great complement, and they all fit under the core value system that you really believe in. And then you want to look at, okay, how can I scale? What pieces do I need to put in place? Whether you want to brand yourself, like we had a group of our people that were at our camp. They went with Ernesto to when I had my surgery. They were in Bombay, and they were in Dubai. And we do it all the time. You know, we take them to Spain. We brand them on an international stage. They got a chance to speak in front of the government in Mumbai. You know, so, and we did it in Bangladesh as well. So to really be able to get people out there to build the brand, to build their belief, and then to think bigger. Now, when we went to the executive club, what did you think about the quality of that audience in the executive club when we went there?
Well, it's pretty phenomenal. I mean, Daniel and I were both there. You had the governor speaking. We talked to a lot of people that were A-list people on boards, on corporates, on nonprofits that were just really the movers and shakers of downtown Chicago. So I think a lot of, I love this space of network marketing. A lot of network marketers forget how to connect with the chambers of commerce and the people that are really moving and shaking, that have access to the funds and the grants, in their city. Yeah. And you know how to do that, and you're doing it in a big way, but also you figured out how to draw in the celebrities. You know, and that's a big thing that you've done with City Gala, City Summit, and we're doing in Chicago as well. Do you want to talk about the speaking event you've got coming up in June, or is it too late to know whether or not you're going to be having that?
I don't know if I want to do it, man, but I want to make sure first and foremost we stay safe. We just had Sharon Lecter, Dr. Stribling, Bill Walsh, David Michaels. They were all there. Mark Aguirre, two-time champion for Detroit Bad Boys. In June 26th, we've already got contracted to have Jeff Hoffman, co-founder of Priceline, who's a dear friend. Frank Shankowitz, the founder of Make-A-Wish. We're going to play his movie. We were going to have in there Isaiah Thomas from the Bad Boy Pistons, and they're working on Ray Lewis. So all this happened before that. But at this point, I really don't feel comfortable until we know exactly what's going on, because it's my in my heart, I have to make sure that we don't cause anyone to have a health challenge. Yeah. And if you feel it, have the anxiety of thinking it could possibly happen. All those things are there. So we'll figure out a different way to go about doing it. But now I want to put a lot of things online as far as recording my training and back away out of the speaking world and work with speakers and other entrepreneurs on how do you sculpt a 7 to 8 or 9 figure business, and not just to make money, Michael, is so we can create impact. There's a friend of mine, one of my close friends, that I'm helping him get his book out, and through your publishing company. And, to be blessed to be in a situation that I can get behind. This guy we've been together since we were 18. I'm 62. So we've been together a long time. So to be able to do that, to be able to feed the seniors, we've adopted 10 families that we're feeding meals, 100 kids every year, taking them to Disney and feeding them and teaching them and empowering them. And those are the things I like to do. And because of that, we opened up a door where we can get speakers in the nonprofit world. We can go in the corporate world. We can go in the spiritual realm. And with religion, we can go into we can create empowerment seminars, whatever we need to do. We got them for women. I created Limitless for women because there were a lack of women speakers that were on the major stages making $100,000 in 90 minutes. It wasn't many at all.
Women speakers. Let's talk about that for a little bit. 70% of our authors, we've been blessed to 350 authors in the last year, and we're going to wrap up here in a few minutes. But you know, Daniel, a lot of your clients are women. In fact, we got Ragnar right here. She's leading the coalition of women globally and doing lives every day. If you haven't connected with Ragnar, we'll connect you because she's just an awesome leader. And you know, women are coming on strong, and Mary Jo's here with us. And tell me, just kind of leave us with some closing thoughts. What do you see happen? You know, we were with you as you spoke. I mean, so many people were gathered around as you were giving the keynote at City Summit, City Gala.
Yeah.
Then Ryan passed away, which was a close friend of all of ours. And then it's almost like we transitioned. We didn't see it. Nobody saw this COVID virus coming.
Yeah.
But in your heart of hearts and compassion, you've had friends die. You've had friends that are going out of business because they can't get the funding and things like that.
Yep.
What do you say here? How do you leave somebody? You know, when you don't know what to say, what do you say?
Well, I got to do two things. Number one, women, I believe the new language we need to learn in this nation is not Spanish, it's gender. Because I believe women will lead the way. I was raised by an incredible mom who passed away in September and 3 incredible sisters. And I have an incredible wife. And if I don't listen, I'm always usually wrong. I have to come back and listen again. So, first of all, I honor that. And I mean that from everything. And I would say outside of that, man, I would pose a question. The question is, if there was a way that I could say how great you could be, would you really listen to me? And if there was a price that you could pay that would give you the life that you seek, are you willing to pay that price and pay it today? And if there was some work that you could do, would you roll up your sleeves? Now the work is on you. And if there was this promise of silver and gold, of pleasures and treasures and fortunes untold, would you do what it takes no matter how tough? Would you dare never quit when the going gets rough? Would you build something great? Would you let it build you? You have a dream. You wrote a book, but there's something else you must do. Because while you're building that dream has to build you. So if there was a way that I could say how great you could be, would you listen to me? If we look at our life and we understand that we live life forward, we understand life backwards. We realize as we grow older that the things happen to us really happen for us. And all the things that have happened in our life has uniquely positioned us to be on this live feed with you, Michael, at this time. It brought these relationships together that will be forged forever. And every life has meaning. Every person you meet has meaning. There'll be a great example. Some could be a terrible reminder. But if you look at the things above your head and not focus on the things below your feet, understand that the thinker thinks and approver approves. So what are you thinking about? What are you focused on? What are you feeding your mind, your heart, your spirit? And if you break it down into simplicity, that all you have to do is get through one day. Just get through Sunday, and I promise Monday, if you wake up, it's going to start off just great. And then Monday, let's just go for that one more day. So remember to follow your dreams wherever they may lead, and never get distracted by less worthy deeds. Remember to shelter them and nurse them and help them to grow. Let your heart hold them down deep where dreams go. You follow your dreams, pursue them with haste. Remember your life is too precious and it's too fleeting to waste. Be faithful, be honorable, and all your days through, the dreams you follow will keep coming true.
Wow, I got to say that was powerful. Applause, Dr. James Dentley. I tell you, you've been blessing a lot of people. You've been touching a lot of lives all over the planet. One thing I want to close out with is something we started with when we started with Ragna an hour and a half ago, and her colleague Simon from Austria. There, you know, Ragna, you grew up in Estonia. What would you say about the global? You live in North America now, actually in Mexico, being trilingual. I guess maybe, I don't know how many languages you actually speak. You could
a little more.
A few more, I'm sure. Being a typical European who grows up speaking 5 languages and now living in Mexico. But I think one thing the pandemic, I've been encouraging people is to think globally, because now as an author, 76% of books are purchased in English are purchased outside the U.S. And that's why we focus on taking our authors around the globe and speaking all over the planet. If South Africa happens this year, I want you all to come with me. I want you all to be here in October, the 23rd, 24th, speaking on stage with me at the Best You with my friend Bernardo Moya. And I want you to come, Dr. Dentley's event. Keep us posted. And of course, we know Toronto is going to happen with Daniel Gomez and Rick Denley up there on stage with Rick Cardone. We're going to be there. And it's going to be awesome. We'll keep you posted. Mary Jo, your book's launching soon. And we're going to be sharing some stages together this year, not only virtual ones, but we're going to be sharing virtual stages, and we're going to be sharing real stages as well. But I do want you to put down, everyone, Guadalajara is definitely happening December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I'll keep all of you posted about that, because the best case scenario we see is that Guadalajara is going to happen. That's the world's second largest book show. It's a quick flight from Dallas or wherever you're at. And I got to tell you, it's hey, there's Shadi from Beirut. Let's see if we can just say a quick shout out here to Beirut, who's now in Southern California. Shadi, good to see you. We'll be bringing you back on next week. For all of those that were watching that had technical difficulties that could not get on, we just want to say we're going to be doing this every single Sunday. And I got to tell you, Dr. James Dentley, you brought the house down like always. We love and appreciate you, and we're going to be hearing from you more and more. But Daniel Gomez, we're doing some great things. You're doing some great things. I appreciate you. We're going to be doing some more stuff with you. How can people find you and follow you? I know you're definitely having your event in July, Sticker Shock. Tell us the dates and how do people find you?
Oh, but it's going to be Sticker Shock's going to be here in San Antonio, Texas, July 24th and 25th. We're going to have an amazing event here, and it's only limited to if you really want to give a lot of value, give a lot of just one-on-one time. It's limited. Like, I think the max we're going to go to is 45 people. We already have 11 people signed up, confirmed, and that's during the pandemic they already have. So if you're looking to get more virtual and speaking gigs live, this is the place you want to be. Because, Mike, I can tell you, we're collaborating on this, and it's just when you help people from the heart, like Dr. James Dentley said, right? When you start from the heart, that's one thing I love about Dr. James Dentley. He really, I'll tell you what, I spent a lot of time with Dr. James Dentley, and he helped me to expand my mindset to think bigger. Well, I thought bigger, and I want to help other people think bigger. But it's like he said, duplicate yourself. So we want to help speakers. We want to help speakers that are having trouble just really expand their reach, expand their mindset. Because if you don't have a speaker's mindset to have a speaker business, you're never going to be successful. And that's one thing that we're really going to emphasize is how to develop that successful speaker's mindset and see yourself owning a successful business. Because if you don't see yourself as a successful business owner, you're never going to be successful in the speaking world, Mike.
Well, it's really powerful. And I want to hear from Shadi, originally from Beirut, Lebanon. Shadi, where are you watching from today, my friend?
Hi, Michael. Thank you.
Where are you watching from today, my friend?
I'm in Los Angeles, California.
We're excited about your book called Transform. When will it be launching?
We don't have the exact date yet.
Just in a few weeks, probably less than a month. I would say 6 weeks out. We're talking tomorrow. But hey, listen, guys, did you have a fun time today? We had people on here from Europe, from all over, from South Africa tried to get on. And Shadi, thanks for joining here. We had a lot of people that tried to get on. But go ahead and share this. We're going to call this the Author Showcase. And we've got a lot of value packed into here for just an hour and a half. And I know a lot of you tried to get on. We got a lot of stuff to share. And message me. Reach out to everybody here. Reach out in the private chat. There's a lot of comments and things. I wasn't able to grab all those chats out of there, guys. But I want to thank everybody for joining us. And who wants to close this out with 15 seconds? We'll just go around the horn here and give us a closing thought. Ragnar, go ahead.
See you next weekend. And obviously, if you haven't started your book yet, now is the best time to do it. And see you in Guadalajara.
Hey, listen, thousands of people are going to be watching your interviews tomorrow. I know I'll be on there. You've got other guests on there. How do people tune into your show tomorrow?
The easiest way is to go to the Coral Desk Facebook, and we are going to have a live stream. Or if you want to join us, then also the information is on Coral Desk Facebook. The Zoom meeting code and the password is there. So I will
share it all over my Facebook today and tonight, guys. I'll tag you all. Thank you, Ragnar. So appreciate you. Bring us out, Mary Jo. What's your thought?
Well, I just will leave you. Obviously, with the pandemic, everything. I just want everyone to make some effort. Reach one every day. Just go out there and touch somebody's life in a significant way. We each have the capacity to do that. We probably have the capacity to reach 100 or 200. But every day, if you just reach one, you'll bring so much joy into your own life. It'll amaze you.
Thank you for those kind words. And Dr. James, you want to close this out as well?
Yeah, live each life with a sense of gratitude. Gratitude will give you a spirit of peace, it'll give you acceptance and give you clarity. And when you're crystal clear, then all the things that you think you're missing, you find they've always been around you. So relax and take some time of gratitude just to appreciate where you are, whose you are, and everything that you've done matters.
Daniel, what are your closing thoughts, buddy?
Your life is a series of expectations. Whatever you expect, you're going to receive. One positive expectancy can pull you out of any negative situation. Let me say that again. One positive expectancy can pull you out of any negative situation. Change your expectations and you're going to change the results. And what I did, Michael, is I put the comments there for the Sticker Shock Speaking Academy.
I can share all those.
You can click on that link to find out more information. And if you want to personally get with me, I'm also going to post my email at daniel@danielgomezspeaker.com. Please email me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to post my phone number too. That way, if anybody has any questions, we definitely want to go above and beyond and serve people out there, Michael. So thank you for having me.
Well, thanks so much for your valuable time. Hug your families, love on everyone, and just let's reach out. I appreciate your friendship, Daniel. We pray together every day, and you're always texting me and encouraging me, and I appreciate that. I know you've got a message to share with the world, guys. Now's the time. Now's the time to blow it up. And Samantha and Ragna, they were friends, and now we're connected in business as well. Mary Jo, we're connected as well. We're all connected, right? And I love what Dr. James Dentley said. We truly are all family. Let's help one another out. We're going to get through this together, and we're going to get through this stronger, and we're going to get through this better than ever. So let's all encourage one another and be guests on each other's shows. And thank you so much. I love and appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. We're going to do it again next Sunday. So I'll be a little more organized, and running Mr. Producer and the host is a lot to do because I'm a little tech challenged. But thanks for your patience. We love you all, and big thanks to Daniel. We may even let you help me co-host you and Dan Snell next week. Love you guys. Have a great weekend.
Love you.
Love you, Dr. James.
Thanks, Michael.
Mary Jo.